Hypercharges have seen a lot of changes since released. They may be unoriginal, but their reveal was very promising. It was another layer of complexity and strategy, but it quickly went down in flames as many were released as bigger, better, stronger, which is little originality compared to what Hypercharges could be. So today I'll be reworking some of the worst Hypercharges and try to make them fun and hype. I mean, hype is literally in the name. If you enjoy, consider subscribing and joining the Discord, as my Discord voted for this video. Alright, let's do this. When Sprout got a Hypercharge, everyone's mind gravitated towards two ideas: more walls and invincible walls. So you can imagine everyone's shocked when we got neither. Both aren't bad ideas, but I want to play more into the idea of thorns, or general aggression. Sprout's wall will be able to bridge gaps a bit farther, but instead of hurting opponents damn near hugging it, each block will explode when destroyed, producing 4 thorns, kind of like Bonnie's Wisdom Tooth star power. This would have a poison effect and deal about 250 damage total per thorn. Additionally, the hedge would spawn bushes around it that would also inflict this poison if opponents were to enter them, and these bushes would leave behind the existing thorns behind if destroyed. It would last half the duration of hedge, aka 5 seconds. This may be a bit complicated, but I want to give Sprout more control by offering a consequence to destroying the walls, all while providing more support for teammates. The whole concept of thorns in general is to play around them carefully or avoid them entirely, so I use that concept for Sprout's super, which I believe Supercell was going for. Literally from the most recent batch of Hypercharges, Nani's fits in the bigger, better, stronger theme, which I can't believe is still happening, especially in the unoriginal way it's being done. My idea actually comes from Nani's losing animation. She can fully retract her limbs. My idea? Make Nani the Hypercharge. I think it's kinda badass and accomplishes everything Supercell wants with the current Hypercharge. I would make it so she could even shoot her center light orb as she flies around, just not all 3S and not make it busted. But this would make it way more fun and versatile. Nani is literally Jesse's nanny cam, so Nani getting out there on the map scouting her surroundings just makes sense. And no, she would not be invincible, she would maintain her health. However, she would be affected by both star powers, so you can choose between defense and offense. When getting out of flight mode, she will still charge a large explosion, whether she hits a wall, dies, teleports, or runs out of time. I have an infernal hatred for pearls specifically because it literally does not do anything for the most part, and I'm sure you've heard of this time and time again. I have no idea what Supercell was trying to do, but I digress. I thought long and hard about this because Pearl is a damage dealer with a weak gimmick in my opinion, but basically her super would be a larger shockwave that leaves a burning radius, but also would shoot cookies in every direction with full heat, the hypercharged attack buff, and they would set enemies on fire. Since her super is a close range one, the cookie's range would be 75% of her normal attack, and would be in the pattern of Yaron from Terraria's Calamity mod. You're gonna have to use your imagination here, I'm not animating all that. Although the bug where it could team up after a game of Brawl Ball or Knockout was funny, I don't think this Hypercharge is any good fundamentally. We don't exactly have many things in Brawl Stars that chase you down, and Tick is also very annoying. So I'm gonna merge the two, and make it so Tick's head leaves a trail of mines as it runs, which is inspired by his removed gadget. And even more, we'll keep the current bombs after detonating, but it'll all be out at once, and also place a mine in the middle, inspired by Mine Mania. Have fun! The problem with Mico's Hypercharge is not only that he can't use the stab boost effectively, but the super hardly benefits from it. I think this is a problem with the super, not the Hypercharge. But if you really want to fix this Hypercharge, maybe make it travel faster and be able to descend at will. El Primo might actually be the most useless Hypercharge on this list. Supercell said it made his super bigger, but it doesn't, so it does almost nothing but provide stat boosts. I can't remember where I saw this concept, but someone made it so El Primo lands with 6 meteors around him, and that would make an awful lot of sense for a Hypercharge with Gravity Leap in its name. Or they could draw inspiration from his mutation if they don't want it to be too complicated since he is a rare brawler. This one is neck and neck with how bad Pearls is. It just spawns spiders. Spiders that can't even stack with the gadget. I've seen ideas where the cocoon would spawn a web around it to deter the enemy team from breaking their teammate out. Yeah, actually that's pretty good. I don't see a problem with that. It's unique and is much better, but otherwise I'll just swap her second star power with her Hypercharge and buff it. This will make your kit a bit more flexible since you can now choose when you would like to use her spiders, if at all or entirely. That was me reworking the worst Hypercharges. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing and joining the Discord. Until next time.